5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
All right. How's everybody doing? It is Friday. It's a beautiful day. It is 10 a.m. You're on the Live with Neve show. We've got some excellent guests today. I have to tell you, I'm really excited. We have some great folks coming on. Let's see what else. In messages, we have Toby Simmons, our great friend from LA, member of our cast, who frequently just helps the show out in too many ways to mention. I also want to welcome on, we have Curious Comment, and we have the talented Weed from the band. I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart. We'll get back to that. What is it, Julie? Tell me, save me here. I don't hear you. No. So this is an example of high tech and how high tech our show is. Right now, I don't have the name on my screen, and Julie's trying to talk to us.
And smoke signals. I am so done with the freaking internet and freaking technology. Jon Weed of ODDeven. Woohoo!
ODDeven. I was thinking positive minus. I was going through my head with all this nonsense going, oh man, I need to finish my coffee. But let's continue. First off, our opening tune was from Gumby Ortiz, drummer for Al Di Meola, and we thank him for allowing the use of that. If you look at my hat, I am wearing a Gone Country hat, Gone Country Hats at gonecountryhats.com. They're a great company, and we thank them for supporting our show. If you need a good hat, tell them I sent you. Make me a few shekels. So we have all kinds of great stuff. Jon Weed is going to go ahead. He's going to be talking for his band. We're going to be playing some clips. And then we have the band Curious Comment who will be coming on. And we can't wait to have everybody on. Julie, want to come back in and tell me what's going on in Tampa?
Let's see. Aside from that noise, it's cooler, so that's nice. We have cooler weather.
Well, great.
That's about the gist of it here in Tampa, because it's Tampa.
Well, it's just a beautiful day here too. In fact, you'd probably be envious because it's about 70 and there's no humidity, and it's like I can't wait to. Yeah, when we're over the show, I've got my family coming into town from Florida, so I have to go run around and get flowers and all this stuff to make the house look nice for my mom. We're celebrating Christmas, Mother's Day, Thanksgiving. My Christmas tree I left up so that when my folks came for Christmas dinner, we could have Christmas dinner together because I couldn't get to Florida this year. I will be in Florida for all my Tampa friends. Just know that I will be there in Christmas for at least a week. My girlfriend can only come for a week, but I may stay an extra week, see what kind of trouble I can get into down there.
Woohoo!
Which, considering my past in Tampa, they better get ready, and I better have bail money. It's going to be a hoot. I'll probably end up turning up at several unannounced locations yet with some great musical people. Some of them have been on the show. I plan on hooking up with Gumby. And you never know, on the way back, I might just have to swing by Nashville. There's a lot in the works. The summer is booking up really nicely. And before we get into the show, I'm a part of the Z-Con. If any of you are fans of the late Warren Zevon, I am a very big fan and have been since I was a kid. I thought he was unusual, weird, quirky, all those things. But I just thought he was an amazing lyricist, and the keys he played things in, just a unique kind of a musician, somebody that had an influence. I once played one of his songs at a redneck bar and almost got killed.
Nice.
That song goes, Sweet Home Alabama, play that dead band song, turn those speakers up full blast, play it all night long. Well, hey, Kim, any rate, at that point, it just went to hell. Those guys did not like hearing us making fun of Leonard Skinner. I tried to tell him it was some Warren, California guy. It wasn't me. Toby. Listen, Toby, if I was in LA today, you'd just have to know you're getting a spanking, girl. I'm telling you what, I'm bringing the paddle. In fact, if I come to NAMM, I'm bringing the paddle, or we'll find one there in all the various advertising specialties, like one of those rubber balls.
What?
I'm going to take that paddle. It's like a paddle with a string and a red ball, and you kind of pop it.
Oh, no. I had the red rubber ball from Pulp Fiction in my head.
Yeah, I don't even have it that can fit in my mouth, but listen, a rule to anybody from the wise, a word from the wise. I've seen things in 60 years in rock and roll. Do not let anyone ever put a ball gag on you. And you should also tell all your friends to be careful. All I know is there's some wild women in this world, and they do shit. Okay. They do things sometimes that make me blush. And I'm not fainting goat, but when I get all red and flushed, I'm getting tingly just thinking about it. So let's see. I know Mike's got a bunch of good stuff to talk about today. Let's bring Mike on and see what he's got to throw out into this mess.
Mike, hey guys,
Mike, Rant Man Imparato.
How you guys doing?
Doing well.
How you doing? Great.
All right, man. Hey, I got a lot of stuff today, but first I want to start out on a funny one that I'm not even aggravated. I'm just in freaking heaven. So getting this camper was the greatest thing I ever did, and I'll tell you why. Oh, you can say, oh, yeah, baseball's America's pastime. Bullshit. Let me tell you what. Since the dawn of time with the first freaking people in the caves, people watching has been the greatest pastime sport in the history of mankind. All the Italian women leaning on the windowsills in the apartment houses, looking out on the street. I'm getting new neighbors every freaking day over here. I'm freaking thrilled. Mikey comes out of the bedroom. He lowers the curtains. He's going, okay, that's enough stupid for you. As soon as he leaves, it goes right back up. I got Cousin Eddie on the right. He's got a camper over there. Him and his girlfriend, Ashley, very nice people. The other night, camper came in here. Really wasn't big, but 13 people came out of it. I'm in heaven. Nice cup of coffee the other day. I'm watching this guy try to back his trailer up in 13 attempts. I'm freaking thrilled. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. So what I'm going to do is the mini blinds in the kitchen, you can leave them horizontally open so you can see through them. Oh, I'm changing all the curtains out to this. So Mikey can't come in and say, okay, that's enough stupid for you. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm loving it. It's freaking great seeing people come out of their campers, mismatched couples. I'm in heaven. So I'm going to be able to snoop on new people for eternity. And you live in a regular house. Somebody might move in down the street once a year, or this is it.
Where'd he go? Mike? I don't hear you, man. You disappeared.
Did we lose you, Mike?
Mike's missing. No sound all of a sudden.
I see him and he's moving.
I see him, but I don't hear him. It just cut out instantly.
What now, Mike?
Yes, technical challenges once again.
Mike?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now I do.
My mic was showing that it was on the whole time. Anyway, to make that one short, I'm in freaking heaven because I'm spying on new people every day of the freaking week over here. I got 13 people coming out of one camper. I got Cousin Eddie on the right. Every day it's somebody new. It's freaking heaven. It's so freaking awesome. The other day I got a cup of coffee. I watched this guy try and back up his trailer 13 times. I was freaking, better than anything on television is watching freaking new people come to the campgrounds every day. Now,
I have to ask you a couple of questions.
Sure.
Mike, have you been doing any nocturnal visits to any of these people after hours?
No, not at all.
We'll call you the peeper or something, man. Remember,
we're in strict quarantine here. We go from the camper to the hospital to the camper. That's it. So, a funny story, quick. So, Mikey got his stem cells put back in on Wednesday, and the nurse says to us, listen, he's going to smell for about 2 to 3 days. She's like, some people think it's like creamed corn. Some people think tomato soup. I don't know what it was, but I was dying for a respirator Wednesday night. It's thank God it's set like it's going away, like it's getting better and better and better. But I don't know how I would describe it. It's just that I was freaking inside the camper. The smell was unfreaking believable. But he's doing great. His numbers are going to continue to fall for probably the next 2 to 3 days before they start coming back up. And once the numbers start coming back up, we'll know that the stem cell transplant is working. But he's doing great. We go to the hospital at 12 o'clock today for his labs and stuff. Now, this rant, let me tell you something right now. They need to take that freaking sign off the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and call it the freaking Music Hall of Fame. Because what does Jay-Z and the Go-Go's, what do they have to do with freaking rock and roll? Nothing at all. So now I'm convinced, just like the participation trophies with the rest of life, all you gotta do is make a song, and it could be a song about the fucking alphabet. You're going in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Bullshit. Change it. It's a disgrace to the real musicians that are in there. Does Jay-Z, I don't even know if he can play a harmonica, let alone a set of drums or a guitar. Why does he become oh my God. So anyway, that's the end of that one. The other thing now, this whole generation of, we'll do the timeout thing for our children. Let me tell you what, either one of my boys calls Bridget their birthing person, I'll smack the living shit out of them. So if you know what, I'm telling you right now, any one of you out there, if you allow your child to call their mother their birthing person, smack the fucking shit out of them because it's disgusting. It's their mother. It's ridiculous. Now, I got one more, and you guys have to tell me if I'm freaking crazy or not.
So we know you're crazy already.
No, listen to this. So I'm reading the paper the other day that China is sending some guy to the top of Mount Everest to draw a line so the people that are coming up from the Nepal side don't cross over with the coronavirus. Number one, I didn't think we had a huge social distancing problem at the top of freaking Mount Everest. There's like 2 people up there. So now it's like 39,000 degrees below zero. Half the people that make the climb freeze to death. So the virus isn't even going to survive. And you tell me if a guy from Nepal steps over that line, that virus is going to enter China. First I said, the dumbing down of America. We got people filling freaking laundry baskets with gasoline, plastic bags, bras, anything they could think of. We are the dumbest country on the planet right now. We are the dumbest country on the planet. But now for China, how come the guy in China to say, wait, I got to go to the top of Mount Everest just to draw a line in the fucking ice? Why me? So when I read that, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know we had thousands of people congregating at the top of Mount Everest. So the whole world has gone to shit. Camping life is the greatest. I am spying on people left and right. It's the greatest sport in American history. And not only that, since they have like speed walking and all this other bullshit, people watching might become an Olympic sport, and I'm ready to go. I'm freaking ready.
Make sure you have your camera with you and you're rolling at all times. That's all I have to say, baby.
Oh, next time I get somebody backing in, I'm freaking videoing it. It's great. But no, I feel bad because Cousin Eddie's getting evicted next door because he's got tops and everything all over his camper. But I feel bad because him and his girlfriend are great people. But that's it. I'm done now because these freaking Chinese at the freaking top of the mountain. We got Jay-Z. We got birthing persons. It's just the whole world. And you look at these pictures. How many pictures did we see yesterday of these young kids trying to fill their car with gas when the handle was covered with a bag that says out of order? It's out of order. They don't even know what that means. What are we doing?
Wow.
Yes, the whole world must be looking at us and saying, what a dumb bunch of shits. I mean, here's a person. The one lady was on the phone calling the gas station, asking them why the freaking thing wasn't working. The bag is on the handle, says out of order. Oh my God.
Dude.
So one guy in Homosassa, Florida, he had a Hummer. So he filled up all these gas cans. While he was filling it up, he spilled gas all over himself, got in the car, lit a cigarette, boom.
Oh my God.
Lived. I just pray to God that the insurance company denies his fucking claim and says, guess what? No, we're not paying for your Hummer. You're an asshole. You're an asshole, and everybody around you is assholes. That's what I would do.
I tell you this. I've met more people
He
who
lived,
own
yes, he
Hummers who I would put into the category of someone I won't sit and have a drink with. I hate to say it. I don't know what it is about the car. I know people say that when I drive my Jag. They're like, look at this dickhead riding around in a Jag. And I'm like, hey, I don't care. Fuck you. I got the top down. You don't.
Yeah. Like there's a picture of a lady yesterday. She's driving around in a convertible with the top down with a mask on. Oh, my God.
Yes.
She's going to give birth. She's going to give birth to somebody. Just think of how stupid that kid's going to end up.
Hey, they drive around with the car.
Angie Halavideli says somebody should have videotaped me backing in. Yeah, well, I'm a pro now.
Oh my God. I love it. Well, listen, Mike, I want you to stick around. We're running a little over the break, but it's Toby's birthday today. And for anybody who doesn't know Toby Simmons, you should. Toby is absolutely just one of our best friends the show's ever had. And we love her. We consider her part of our cast. And we haven't had her on in a while. But Toby, let me just check in the comments here. Is Toby with us?
Yeah, she's with us. So let's go break.
Okay. Well, you're going to hear our great debut.
And we're going to go to break.
I have a cajon, and we're going to sing Happy Birthday. So, Julie, if you would, go ahead and open the mic for Curious Comment and for Mr. Weed, and open your mic, and we're all going to sing Happy Birthday to Toby.
Okay.
Look at Julie. She's like, okay.
Let me see if I can make that happen here.
There we go. Hi, Curious Comment. Hi, guys.
Hey, guys.
I see you lurking in our well-appointed green room. I'm sorry there's no Courvoisier or, no pre-rolled joints or anything, but, it's kind of low budget. The whole COVID thing, we just slacking on the green room.
All right, go ahead.
The green room will be very green.
There we go. So, Toby, look at you guys. Everybody's looking so happy today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy birthday to you.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Toby.
Dreams come true. Happy birthday, George.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy.
That has to be the most trippy.
Let's just say Barbershop Quartet, we are not.
Yeah, there we go. We got somebody with some pipes, not this grizzled old half-assed cowboy. So now that we've all met each other, guys, if you're watching, we're about to go to the break, but you have Kim. We have everybody, the usual suspects in the room. We've also got Curious Comment, who's new to the show. We've got Jon Weed, who is a great guy. I love his videos, and we're going to show some of those in the next segment coming up. But I guess that's all we've got for this segment. We're going to go to a break real quick and stick around. You're live with Neve. It is about half past the hour, a little past the hour. So we'll see you in just a minute. We're out of here.
We're not out. We'll be back in a sec.
I'm Neil from Live with Neve. We have an exciting connection for our veterans, country music fans, and there is something for everyone. Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. That's right, we've partnered with Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. See you soon. right. A big shout out to Toby. I tell you, we love you, girl, and that's from the heart. You are just such a great friend, and we have definitely got a date in LA in January, so I can't wait. I'm hoping without hope that NAMM will be back. I haven't been in 2 or 3 years. I was at the last one they held, and I miss it. It's my time to go out west and have some fun and just kind of be in a place where I don't know everybody. I just go visit my friends and have a great time playing music and all that stuff. So we are running a little over, which is okay. It's our show, and we can tell the shareholders or whoever to go stuff it. We have a great band on this morning. We have Curious Comment coming on, and let's bring them on, Julie. Let me introduce them to everybody. Hi, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having us on
I
your
love
show.
your backdrop.
Thank you.
I'm glad to have you. I love the backdrop. It's very cool. If you notice mine, this is from Afghanistan, believe it or not.
Wow.
From the top of the Intercontinental Hotel. And my friend from Afghanistan, who's been on the show, is a gifted photographer, has generously allowed me to use his backdrops. And I have him on we have him on about once a year. When we have him on, we have to be careful because Afghanistan, as many of us have watched for the past 20 years, has been one long mess. Still a mess. It'll be a mess after we leave. It'll be a mess whenever anybody else comes in. It's the graveyard of empires, as they used to say. And he lives there, and I'm curious to see. I hope he will be able to leave if things get bad there and either come to the U.S. or England or somewhere, because he's a great guy, and it's an ugly situation. But enough about that. He's cool. He sends us great pictures, and his name, I'll tell you, it's Zababullah Habibi. So that's kind of a mouthful, and he is on my friends list. So if you want to see some amazing pictures from a very misunderstood part of the world, most of us, we've had 20 years of war, and we've kind of forgotten about it because it's just not in the news every day, and we have all this other shit with COVID. But he is a great photographer, as you can see, and
It's a beautiful
we'll
picture.
yeah, he's cool. I told him I feel like I'm the set of Blade Runner and stuff. It's really, it's just cool. I look at this and I said, wow, I'm going to LA in 2050 or something, I love Blade Runner, by the way. I know nobody really gives a crap. But so tell me, guys, how long have you been together, and what are you guys up to these days?
Let's see. We've been in this format for not that long, maybe a year or so. Back, we started doing it just prior to COVID, I think is fairly accurate, right? And then, we're doing it, and we're hosting open mics, getting gigs, and then COVID hit, and we were, knock wood, able to, work from home and stuff for, our livelihoods, and, took the time out to get the album recorded.
Great.
Right. But we've been playing music in a different format before COVID for probably almost 5 or 6 years. So we've got a bit of playing together under our belt, and just decided to start a new project because we were home.
When you play out, do you have a band? There's just you guys?
We are working towards procuring a band. It's been a long process because of COVID. Auditions kind of really slowed down as far as finding new band members, but we're on the hunt.
Absolutely.
We need a bass and a drummer that lives near Troy, near Saratoga. Technically, we're in Shushan, New York, which many people haven't heard of.
I know where it is because I went to school in New Lebanon at Darrow.
Oh,
all right.
Okay,
And
so very good. But
I'm familiar with it.
It's a beautiful part of the state, but it takes a little time to get to us. But for the right person, we might come to you. So if you like our music.
Well, we'll have to keep that in mind. Let me ask you, are you guys a member of ISSA? International Singer-Songwriters?
Yes.
I thought that's where
That's where we met.
Okay, that is, I'm correct then. Yeah, if anybody's asking or wondering what ISSA is, it's the International Singer-Songwriters Association. It's an outfit out of Atlanta. We've had #1 record hits from people in our group worldwide. And if you're a singer-songwriter, you really should join. For anybody watching, I am the host of the Asbury Park chapter. Tip my hat to y'all. And I will tell you that we're going to be having our first songwriting series starting in July at the latest, possibly the end of June if I can get a venue for it. I have some amazing friends who are going to be helping us out with it. I know we're hoping to have Sam Rourke playing at the first one, and we're working on that. Sam and I are great friends. And she's been on the show. In fact, I have to give her a call today, just see what the girl's up to. She's always doing something new and cool. And, you know, anybody who comes on, we kind of figure you're part of the family now. And so tell me, like, what do you want to play today? Have you got a particular, how many songs are on the record?
8.
8, okay. And what would you like to play with us today?
I think if you were at our website, you could find probably Gone is the first track on the album, and that's a great one to kick it off with. So
Great.
I would suggest that one.
Okay. Well, would you like to play it today?
I didn't realize that was an option.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that's fine. We'll definitely have you back on to have you play. I mean, we love to hear you, and what we'll do is we'll post. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, we missed the trick.
Welcome to the NFL, man. This is how you roll.
That would have been, I mean, totally would have, if we had known.
Didn't get that instruction, so we apologize.
Well, don't worry about it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to have you back on and have you play for sure.
All right.
That'd be great.
I want to have your fans and everybody. And tell me, where can people find your stuff?
Definitely head over to our website. If you go to curiouscomet.com, you can play all of our songs to stream. We love it if you purchase the album, if you like what you hear. When we kicked off the album, we did a nice fundraiser for our Salem Community Cat Rescue, who helped get stray kittens off the streets and into good homes. So
I do the same thing here. I'm a member of our group in town. We have a very nice little small town edge of the Atlantic Ocean, and we have a great trap. In fact, one of our biggest fans is Pam Ryan, the lady. I'm giving you a shout out, Pam. She does great things for Highlands, and all I can say is Paws for Pets, and she's killer. I have 2 cats myself. Heck, I broke my arm in 5 places tripping over a box that they had moved while I was trying to give them water. I just had surgery roughly 2 months ago, and 5 fractures in the arm. It's amazing I can do this. I can't go much higher than that, but I'm getting there. I'm in therapy and feeling great. But my cats, I'm always like, God, you guys worth all this trouble?
Cat tried to kill me this morning.
It happens.
Right behind me. I didn't know it was there. Boom. On you go. Got to be careful. Yeah, and we're on all the platforms, you know, too. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes, you know. So we're any place you look, Curious Comet, and definitely available. Since we put in the work of making the album, we wanted to make sure it was available. We moved it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I understand. It's a lot of work, and like you mentioned earlier, finding musicians during this time. The first time I heard the term social distancing was April, about a year ago, about the time I started this show. And I was playing, I had a record that we were working on, and that all came to a screaming halt. And we were just about done with the song that played earlier, First We'll Take Manhattan, which is a Leonard Cohen cover. Well, when that happened and we were all getting ready to finish it, like had a couple of guitar licks and I had to go in and sing like one line over. And then I called up my guitar player and I'm like, hey man, why don't you come by the house and we'll track that last lead part, and then we'll go to JR, my producer's house, and we'll cut the vocal. It's only one line. I mean, and it's funny, the story of it is this is the longest it's ever taken me to write a song or to play and put it out. I could have probably finished this in a day if we had just stayed in the studio and done a 12 or 14-hour shift. Couldn't get everybody. They kind of get annoyed with me when I pull one of those things and they're all going, oh, can't we like eat lunch? I'm like, forget about it. We're working. You'll get your lunch later, you know? And they're like, oh, this is going to take 2 hours. And we're in there 6 hours later haggling over the vocal comps. It's the nature of the beast, but it'll be out. I'm hoping all the originals will be something we can, entertain folks at the ISSA convention with. Some dark, high sense of humor music. We're kind of unusual, and I'll just leave it at that. But so we have on.
Can I just get a plug?
Yes.
Great. We're starting a Radio X open mic the first and third Tuesdays of the month. They will be in Corcoran's Towpath Tavern, which is between Cohoes and Waterford. And then the third Tuesday is at Patrick's Pub in Watervliet. So kind of Troy, Albany area.
Yes.
See musicians. My name's Nikki Chaos, Kaos, on Facebook, or go to Curious Comet and send us a message. We'll do pre-sign-ups so that people who work late don't have to get there too early. We want to accommodate everybody and see a lot of great musicians.
I'll tell you what, if after the show's over, send us some details and we'll talk. We'll go ahead and set a date to have you back on, and we'll take it away. Thank you for being with us. And
thanks so much for having us.
Folks. I do like your songs, and I wish we could have played them today, but we're going to have you back. We're going to have a good time.
We'll be there.
And we're going to go to the break, everybody. We're half past the hour, and thanks to Curious Comment for being here. And thank you. That's all I can say. Let's roll out of here, Julz. Time to go. Hi, everybody. Neve from Live with Neve. We're just having a little fun driver here, so please PayPal me.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging. Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve, Fridays on the East Coast from
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best.
Hi, everybody. Neve from Live with Neve. Hi, everybody. Neve from Live with Neve. We're just having a little fun driver here, so please PayPal me / Live with Neve. All right. Enough of all that sales pitching stuff. It's okay, Julz.
Everything's locking up. I can't.
I have to tell you, what would a show be without the internet screwing with us? I am actively looking for a new platform.
It would be.
We have what we have. So I guess it's time to hear some rock and roll.
Yeah, please. Let's do that.
Excellent. Well, let's bring Mr. Weed on. I want to ask him some questions.
Weed. Yes, Mr. Jon Weed. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Jon
Rock
Weed.
on.
Morning.
My gang sign ended up being the finger. Here you go, Leland Sklar.
What is it, right?
Yeah, man. I'm as metal as they come. You can tell.
That's right.
I've really got my secret leather underwear with codpiece and spikes. I'm ready for action, man. I'm in the mosh pit. The oldest sucker in the mosh pit, I'm there. I'm still swinging with my broken arm, like, I'll bite your arm off, you fucking asshole.
See, now that's a better story than getting injured by a cat. You know, the mosh pit thing, tough guy. Cat, I don't know, right?
Yeah, the cat definitely had the best part of me. While I was sitting on the floor, I could hear that it was multiply fractured, and I was just looking at the cat going, it's a good thing I love you, you little shit.
Oh, my God, yeah.
My cats they have two different towers to look out at New York or the ocean. Like, they're so spoiled, and they have a deck 3 stories up that they can run up and down and go psycho on, and they do. Squirrel activity is high on their priority. They haven't caught one yet, and I don't think they'll know what to do with it if they do. I just have this horrible fear of a twitching squirrel being dragged in the back door, or my mom's here or something. There you go, Harmony Row Entertainment. Tell me about I have one question to ask you. Your last name is rather intriguing. Is that your Christian name given, or is that a moniker? That is it.
That's official. It's been a fun life.
Excellent. Well, tell me, tell us just how about your band, where you started, who's involved, and just give us the thumbnail of what your band's all about.
Yeah, so the ODDeven's been around for, we're coming up on 2 years. Depending on the day, it feels like more or less. with the whole COVID thing. You know, not unique story to anybody, but certainly we didn't anticipate that. You know, we came out in 2019. We booked some road dates with Nonpoint, Soulfly. We did a show with Faster Pussycat.
Okay.
We played with Last in Line.
Cool.
And you know, the Dio guys. And then we went into the studio and started banging out a record with the anticipation of it, you know, coming out in the spring of 2020 and then getting back out on the road. And sure enough, everything came to a grinding halt. We released the record, and then it was like, okay, now what? You know, and so everyone's trying to reinvent themselves and get out there and all that stuff. You know, you had the Harmony Row label that popped up before. That was actually a company that I started. I guess it was back at the end of the 90s. At one point, I had like 35 bands under me, and you know, some of them I was putting records out for, and you know, I was booking a bunch of bands. So we continue to roll with that. You know, I still do some work through that company name. So we put out the record under that, and you know, got on every platform with you know, through CD Baby and all the channels. It's available around the world. We put out a couple videos, and just really kept waiting for the gigs to come back to take that next step.
Yeah, it's a hard wait.
Yeah, some of the gigs, you know, postponed 3 or 4 times. You know, some of them that Julie and I have actually talked about down in Florida have been on the books now. Literally, I think we've had 4 times postponed a gig with Slaughter and down in
Fort Myers. What a great gig. That'll be great fun. You better wear your body condom if you're within 30 feet of the stage.
That's right. That's right. So no, but some exciting news through all this stuff. You know, we certainly persevered. We got a new record coming out. We actually just got signed by Pavement Entertainment.
Great.
So we've got, you know, we're label mates now with like Puddle of Mud, Head PE, Powerman 5000. Some of those great bands. So yeah, we're looking to get out there, hit some of these July shows, and then we'll take a small break, and then we'll probably hook up with somebody September, October, and you know, do extensive tour of the U.S.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Bravo. Well, Julie, do you have something queued up that we can play of this killer band?
Yes, John. I've got your 3 videos. You want me just to go on through and one at a time, and you can explain, or how do you want me to do it?
Yeah, really, whatever you want. I mean, one of them was just a promo video that we put out. That's for the song "Bleed for Something," so that's a short little clip. The other 2 are actually full length, the whole song. Happy to announce that the one song again actually just passed a 500,000 views on YouTube. So
wow,
congratulations.
very excellent. Wow, I'm so happy for you guys. That's just great. Really is.
It is. All right, here we go.
Okay, guys, here we go.
I'm gathering. I'm not the one that can't hear anything. I'm seeing hear anything. Is that the case?
yeah, it wasn't playing.
It wasn't playing.
Geez.
Try number 3. Let's give it a shot. We might as well shoot our wad here.
Yeah, let's hope.
For everybody who's wondering with confusion, we basically are just having a problem. We've had a new feature that we brought on today, which enables us to play longer videos. We see the aliens have landed. It's my people.
That's right.
I was sent here a long time ago from a place far beyond the sun. I thought I was just mentally ill, but I've got the keys to the ride back. Well, guys, I'm so bummed because this is such great music. If you're a aficionado of metal, I mean, these guys are very good. I just like everything I've heard from them. And I'm also bummed that, we're not hearing it. I know you guys are too. And I'm really sorry to, I'm sorry to we.
Hey, it's all good. Stuff happens.
Yeah,
Sure does happen.
We'll just post it onto Facebook after the show, so that way everyone can get a taste of it and know where to go and stuff like that. I think it's the load of.
We have like 8 people in the room.
Yes, that's what I keep noticing. The more people we have, the harder, the slower things go. So, but
right.
anyways,
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kick from studio. Not doing this. We love you guys. No, you should ban them. I don't want to ban them. If you want to present this,
there you go. I took those. I took those off.
Okay,
so.
There we go.
There we go.
So tell me, since we have this time, let's go ahead and use it. Tell me about when you were a young guy. Did your family were they supportive of you? How was that? Were your folks into it? Were they on the side of, oh my God, turn that shit down? What was it like growing up in your household?
Right.
Well, I mean, I think you probably, like most parents, you get a little bit of both. I mean, my parents are, artistic folks. They were school teachers. My mom's an artist. So she kind of gets that whole, creative side of things. My brother started playing guitar. He's 18 months younger than me. He was banging on the guitar all the time. And, I guess in the early 80s when the new wave of hard rock and metal came in, I was like, hey, I saw Nikki Sixx. I was like, I got to be that guy, and so I started banging on the guitar and Eddie Van Halen and all that stuff. And he was always running, yelling to mom, hey, get him off the guitar. I didn't know what he's doing and all this kind of stuff. So it started out by just making noise and having fun with him. And, at some point in our teenage years, we started playing in bands and, while other people were saying, hey, I've got a soccer game or I got this going on, whatever that might be, we're like, hey, we got a gig in DC or we got a gig in Baltimore. And, there was times where my parents would literally drop us off at like 8 o'clock. We'd have to go in the back door because we weren't of age. We'd go on stage, we'd play the show and, they'd be picking us up at 2 a.m. and we'd show up at school the next morning. So yeah.
You're lucky. I hear that story a lot. All of us who've been in the business a long time, most of us have a lot of support from our family. And that's not always the case, which really sucks for people. Yeah, some people just don't have the supportive family. And I really feel for them. And, even my mom was like the ultimate band mom. I started playing when I was like 7 and I started doing little gigs here and there, church orchestra and played a couple of weddings. But once I started realizing I could get way more money just playing drums in a tuxedo as an 8-year-old than I could doing my paper route.
Right. And, 100%.
I still have a check actually from when I was really a young kid. I was on 2 shows, which I'm dying because I can't get the footage. One is Candid Camera from about 1965. And the other one was the Johnny Carson show because Alan Funt went on and used my clip. So the next day I went to my family's restaurant and they were all like, Ernie, oh my God, you're a TV star.
Famous.
But it was funny because I wish I still had the letter. I used to have a letter from Alan Funt. They sent me $100 to do after it could sign away my rights to it. And I remember reading it and I wish I had it now because it's just one of those cool things. About 5 years ago, I reached out to Mr. Funt's son. I reached out to the folks who had the archives for the Carson show. And unfortunately, the Carson show had been overwritten because video was so expensive at the time that they'd used them over and over. And so there's a ton of episodes from those years that are missing. In the case of Alan Funt, there was a huge warehouse fire, which destroyed a whole bunch of Candid Camera stuff. Now, there's still stuff out there that didn't get destroyed. It was either in a different repository. I don't know the extent of the damage to the whole building, but I do know that it really fucked them up as far as, reissuing those golden years where the show was really funny. In my case, they just asked me, if you see a sign that says to let, like in England for rent, he's like, what would you do? And I confused the word to let with toilet. So I told them to take a leak. And apparently they thought that was really funny that I said I'd go to the bathroom. Let's go in the toilet, And for whatever reason, they found, I was sitting there with this cute little girl, and we were just making, things up as they'd ask us questions. But I was really surprised when I got this letter paying me. My mom, back then, she was in college and going to school and working full time. And I was like, wow, I know that money came in helpful in those days. So it was pretty cool, and that's how I got started. But it's really great to have band parents who support you. And if anybody out there is a parent, and your kid comes to you one day and says, I want to play guitar or I want to play drums, indulge them a little bit. What's it going to take? Buy them an acoustic guitar and send them down to the basement. Get him, get lessons. Do whatever you can if he's interested. If he's not interested in it, you don't want to beat the hell out of the kid to play piano. There's nothing worse than being wrapped on the knuckles by some Swiss piano teacher to learn perfect form when you're going to play in a rock and roll band. And don't get me wrong, I love classical music. I practice drums to it. I'll just put on random classical music that has no drums, and I'll play with it because it's a mental exercise. Hearing things, it gives you much quicker improvisation. It happens quicker when you practice like that. If you hear something in your head, you're playing along, pounding the nail, you should go, da-da! You looking at your bass player, he knows where you're going, And I love, being a musician is just one of the best things in the world. Of course, it's kind of hard to make a full-time living, but, if you persevere, you can make a great living. I know tons of people who are. Till COVID. With COVID, I've heard from people at the very top of the industry who are all bummed. When you see people who are well-known names having to sell their house, and they have a pile of money, but no matter what budget you have, people tend to spend what they have and save a certain percentage if they're lucky and intelligent. But, at the same time, rock and roll right now is just kind of in a whole weird place. Like, I don't know, what do you think about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame lately? I think it's just a big shit show that I don't know if I'd even go on it if they gave me an award. Not that that's going to happen anytime. It's lost. Yeah. It's a talent. It's basically a popularity contest amongst the record execs. Lauren Green is a big part of it, and he's done everything he can to keep Warren Zevon off. I'm going to be hosting the ZCon, our show, which will be in September, and we're going to have on a bunch of Warren's friends, his former road manager, his biographers. I will just tell you, we have some pretty amazing guests I'm hooking up with who are household names, and I don't want to poison the well by announcing them before we've finally, negotiated the date and the time. But I have some very cool people who worked on all the albums, and it's going to be a real treat. And that'll be in September. We have held them for 5 years, and it just gets a little better every time. Of course, last year we had to do the virtual thing, and we're doing it again this year. But hopefully we'll get back to the original, 3 years we'd have live bands. And I just have to tell you, I have a few tricks up my sleeve that are going to be really make this one, being year 5, it's important to me that we really do something special because there's nobody else out there doing what we do. And it's a cool thing. If people dig Zevon, they can come check it out. It's free. We just do it out of labor of love to get them in the Hall of Fame. And I have some friends of mine in the Singers Songwriters Hall of Fame, and I have them enlisted. We're trying a lobbying effort from the top down within that organization to try and my feeling is if we can get him in the Songwriters Hall of Fame, that's one more step to getting him in that Hall of Fame.
I mean, I think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is fine. I mean, it's great. Whatever. If somebody told me I was going in there, I'd say, okay, put me in there. At the same time, right. I think there's a very valid argument for, is this rock and roll or is it not rock and roll? Why are folks that are not rock and roll people being inducted? Now, is there multiple different genres and levels and styles? Of course there are. So, I mean, the lines get blurred a little bit.
Right.
But when there's somebody that's so obviously not rock and roll in the title, there's a very good argument as to why they're taking a spot away from, say, Iron Maiden. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's, again, there are the positives out of it. And I agree with you. I don't mean to say when I rag on them, but I find the politicization of it really unsavory. And it's just the kind of thing that it's the shit we get pissed off about politicians doing. Make these deals and close doors, and we don't know shit until things are happening. And I just don't I just wish the organization would be more about rock and roll. It's fine that they bring new talents because rock and roll will inevitably change its definition over time. Everything changes, and I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the thing is with this whole business, if you don't have thick skin and you're not prepared to battle the whole way and do
absolutely.
some stuff, I mean, then you're in the wrong business. You know what I mean? Because there's always going to be craziness like that,
Absolutely. And things will always go wrong when you don't need them or want them to go wrong. And I always keep prepared. And I find that, the best thing I can do is when shit hits the fan, just find a way to make a joke out of it and keep walking forward because you ain't got nothing else you can do. And I'd rather not. I don't like being an angry guy walking around. If it's something screwed up, I'll remove myself, and I just don't deal with it because there's no point. When it comes to my band or something I'm pushing, I'll put my head through the wall if I have to get a contract or make things happen, because it's like welcome to the NFL. If you want to be in this business and make a living, you better. It's not the easy ride. People think they see like Taylor Swift, for example. Her day is a never-ending clusterfuck of things that she has to do. And you don't see her complaining because obviously she's very well compensated, but I don't think a lot of people, civilians don't understand what entertainment business is about. They have no clue. They see the show and a lot of them think it's real easy. Like, maybe, this band, they practice once a month. And like, I think they've been rehearsing in a studio for 8 hours a day before the tour. And then every night before the show, they go back in the rehearsal studio at the venue and warm up and do their first set or whatever.
Yeah.
There's just and all behind the scenes work, hustling your gig, paying your manager, paying taxes. That's something that a lot of bands screw up on. And it's just it's like anything. It's a music business. And I don't think some people understand that until you get into it and you realize how much work it is. That's why so many bands dissolve. They don't have a strong leader, or they don't have, I've found overall most democracy bands, even though there's always a hierarchy, whether it's recognized by the members or unrecognized, it's there. There's always usually a leader in a band. And it's sometimes like you'll be nice and say, okay, we're all a band, we all get equal stuff. But a lot of times your intensity direction is affected because you're pulling in 5 different directions rather than having one guiding overview. And
gotta have a chief and gotta have some Indians.
Yes. And, as long as I'll call them not idiots, they're humor challenge. I don't know what I'd call them, but as long as people in bands, usually I've found that the leader becomes apparent after a while. And the band, if you're a leader and you're doing good things for them and you have that ethos as a band leader, these are my family and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure they're well fed at the gig, that they have a good time, that we don't beat on them. We're all family and we treat each other as such. And I kind of just figure like I'm the big uncle in the band and trying to herd cats, because I mean, you know how it goes, trying to get everybody to rehearsal on time for a month.
Yeah,
can be vexing. You've probably done it. It's great. You go out, you audition somebody and they seem so great and then they just ghost you. Like they realize like they can't cut it or something happens or they just start being squirrely. Oh, I'm late for rehearsal. And then they show up and they're fucked up or they're just not on their game. They have a girlfriend who shows up at rehearsals and wants to gnaw on everybody's ear about what she thinks the band should do. And I have the law in my band. I don't care what your wife or girlfriend thinks. I appreciate them. They're nice people, but the band, their influence on the decision making has nothing to do with the show. And so if you have a problem with your girl or your guy or whatever, deal with it. Part of being mature, you have to have your life well organized. I mean, I'm a recovering alcoholic and I played for decades and was hammered a lot of the time. Looking back at that, I know I could have been better. Nobody ever noticed that I was drunk per se, but I know myself when I look at videos, I can tell that I wasn't, clicking like I do now. Being sober was a weird thing for the first. This is my second year in, be my third year actually coming up.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But it suits me a lot better. And I just noticed if I'd have known how great I'd feel, I would have stopped years ago. I'm a legal marijuana, smoker here in New Jersey, and I had a prescription for it. But even that, if you go to rehearsal and work your ass off. You get time to party afterwards, and I don't care as long as people can handle their shit. Have a beer if you want to practice. Don't have a 6-pack. Don't be hammered, forgetting your lines, and that bad behavior. It's really hard to find musicians who are really got it together. It's like anything in life when we hire a job applicant. You have the same problems, and I just think that the bands that make it, like you guys are doing, tremendous. It's obvious because you've done a bunch of work, and it never stops. I know if you have a label, you're running 23 bands. I know exactly what you're going through. Talk about herding cats. You have to be the rabbi sometimes. You got to be their bail bondsman. You never know what's going to get thrown at you. Or somebody has a breakup, you hope you have resilient people who, if they get dumped, they're not going to go into some depression fugue and they all of a sudden they go from being so full of fun, and now all of a sudden they're Trent Reznor singing about cutting someone or something. And I love Trent Reznor. I'm just kidding. On the analogy of, it's like Marilyn Manson. You don't hear much of him because all this publicity about what he did or didn't, what he allegedly did. I don't know. I know most people, if they head up to Marilyn's pad, they know it's going to be kind of a wild get together. And I know I just know what I would expect if I went to hang out in the old days. I know he's also a recovered alcoholic, so he's a lot different. And, I'm sure I've heard him say it, how much more functional and competent, things that changed since those years, doing heroin all the time.
Yeah.
It's an awful trap to fall into. So tell me a little bit about your other bandmates. What are their backgrounds?
So E.T., my guitar player, and I basically started this band. It was pretty calculated. We've been around the block a few times.
Cool.
We said, hey, we're going to write music in this genre. We're going to go after it hard in the, that hard rock space. Mm-hmm. And we're going to go after, sort of the style that we came up on. So, we don't shy away from when people say, hey, look, you guys sound like Alice in Chains, or you guys pull from Soundgarden. We're like, hey, man, that's a great compliment. Perfect.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How did we all learn to play? Listening to music and going, I'm going to figure this out. Nope, I know it.
Yeah, I was actually playing in a funk groove band called Papa Shake, and he was actually doing some reggae stuff before. So it was a total 180. But right. We came up on this stuff, and we're like, hey, let's give this a real shot. This is right. A concerted effort. Much to your point before, I mean, this stuff doesn't happen by accident. I mean, this is well calculated. We look at this as not only something we love to do, but it's also a business.
Right.
And so, each step is, do we go to the left? Do we go to the right? Do we go straight? Right. And if we do any one of those, we try to evaluate some of the repercussions. Now, are there times where certainly we say, hey, let's just throw caution to the wind and go for it? Absolutely, because it wouldn't be fun if you don't.
Right.
But at the same time, I mean, hey, we are where we are right now, following one of the weirdest years ever with a pandemic, because we continually talk about the business side of things and how we're going to get to the next level and do the right thing.
Right. Well, you're doing a great job, I have to say, man. I definitely want to have you guys, maybe what we can do is sometime we can do a live broadcast of maybe a rehearsal or something like that, where we can have everybody playing. And, of course, we do something like that. We'll do a thorough sound check. Today we had some technical issues, but part of that was just that we had a new program we were using, and we have to learn with that new program. Let's see. Okay, we got 1 minute, everybody.
You can find the video right off our website or YouTube. Just go to theoddeven.com.
Right. And we will be posting your information on our page so that people can check out the videos that didn't play today. And I want to thank you a lot for being on the show with us. You're obviously doing well, and I like you as a person. I think you're a cool guy. I like anybody who's really working it in the business. I don't care where they're at in that step, but it's passion, it's work, it's intensity, integrity. It's so many things that you have to have. And I'll just tell everybody, be nice on the way up. You will meet people on the way down and then on the way back up again. So be a nice person. Be on time, be punctual. Be the guy everybody wants to hang around with. Don't be that pain in the ass. Nobody wants an ego or fucking thinking you're like head so big. We have 1 minute and I have to go. So thank you, everybody. We've got Jon Weed from ODDeven, and we think they're great guys, and you will too. I guess, Julie, we're going to roll out of here. Have a great time, man. I'll be calling you to get you back on. We'll hope for sometime maybe in July. We've got some dates that we can fit you in, and we also have an afternoon show, so maybe we can do it in an afternoon if it works better for your band. Or the other option is we can just record something and then broadcast it later, where we'll figure it out. But I want to have you guys live, and I'll help you any way you can. As you get new things coming out, hit us up. We'll promo it, and send us stuff. We have stuff. We'll promo you. We hope you're a good member of our new family. So
cool, man. Thank you.
Okay.